You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lights of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Key, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live. Oh.
I'm talking about shout it going crazy. People going crazy in these motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it means nothing. Nothing. About a woman on the day. Man made the car. Carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water like the 7-no-meter. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. Man make them happy because man make them dark. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world.
rising, grand rising, grand rising. Welcome to Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Che. The air date is this episode of November 1st, 2024. Blog Talk has been playing a bunch of games with us, tearing down our show and whatnot. And they finally decide to work this morning. Okay, this is the day after Spooky Day, Halloween, whatever you want to call it, trick or treat, crooks, bums, scumbags, all kind of foul stuff was out there looking stupid last night, you know what I mean? And so we're back on, and we have the one and only our sister, from Colorado Springs in this morning. And then we got going to our Denver office, the one and only Mr. Che and Kruma. Okay, good morning, sister, and good morning and grand rising to your brother Che.
Yes, grand rising.
Good morning, peace be unto you.
Yeah, bad news.
Dodgers won.
Sad news.
Dodgers won.
The Bums won the World Series. That's unacceptable.
Sister obsessed. So
the Bums, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series. And that is sad.
That is
sad
great news.
News.
Great news, Shabaka.
No.
Great news. Another win for the West Coast.
No, sir.
Shout out to the West.
No, sir. No, sir. Out of all my years of living in Los Angeles, I have never been inside Dodger Stadium. Okay.
Wow, that's like
now,
with
due respect.
I've never been inside a Coors Field.
Oh, okay. Well, I much rather Colorado Rockies would have won the World Series than the Bums. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about the Dodgers, they did give when they were in Brooklyn, they did give the first black Major League Baseball player, his time to shine, and that there's the one and only Mr. Jackie Robinson. And as we all know, that Mr. Robinson passed away in 1972 at the age.
I used to have an old. I crossed out.
Okay.
I crossed the B out, but I had a Brooklyn Dodgers hat.
Okay. And of course, the Brooklyn Dodgers, that's in New York is where they got the term "them bums" from, because they would lose all the time, generally against the Yankees. And also, too, ladies and gentlemen, as we did discuss the 50th anniversary, the last time we was on the year of the Rumble in the Jungle. Okay, yeah. Reggie Jackson that year. Okay, played for the Oakland A's, when the Oakland A's won the World Series the third time in a row. Yeah. And they used to call Mr. Jackson Mr. October, is because when he would get down into the World Series, he'd really put in his work. And of course, you do know is that Mr. Jackson did end his career with the New York Yankees. Okay. So moving right along here, is that
let's get to the censorship under the Democrats, Shabaka. This has happened under the Biden-Harris administration. The frontline campaign has been locked out, boxed out on all major media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and any other ones I didn't name. So it's real. They tried to take my YouTube page down not too long ago, and I have I've lost access to at least 3 Facebook pages.
Okay, yeah, and that is censorship. Okay, because here it is, supposed to be in an election. Then you all talk about free speech, So then they had both of them here in the great state of Nevada yesterday. You know, you had the dump.
Did he roll up in a dump truck? Did he roll up in a dump truck like he did? Did he roll up in a dump truck like he did the other day at that rally in Michigan?
Okay, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, but I'm sure Cartoon News Network will follow up on it, you know what I mean, and what have you. And then to now the dump, rolling up in a dump truck, okay, that was most appropriate, you know what I'm saying? But like he said, when he ran for president 16 years ago, when it comes to these politicians, we just don't know, folks. We just don't know.
Got another forum, y'all, this Sunday at my favorite place, the Zion Senior Center. So I get to speak again. I'm going to let them have it again. I make sure I bring my banner again. They loved my banner the last time because they was so mad. They was expecting me to be a Democrat, and I'm like, no, I got my own party. What are y'all smoking?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, so that's great news. That's great news. That's great news. You know what I'm saying? Our hashtag this morning is Blog Talk. Read out Joe Gibson, Sarge, election 2024. We all we got. Kamala Harris, Donald Duck, free speech, slavery, U.S. history, liberation-minded media.
Yes.
Okay, people, this is an election, right?
It's a selection.
Okay, let's talk about reparations, which is most appropriate, I feel, at this time. Okay. Well, you people don't deserve reparations. You need to get over it. Okay. I had some troll on my Facebook page saying, well, you know, nobody's no longer alive, you know, from slavery.
That's a lie.
But guess what?
That's a lie.
Yeah, that's the biggest lie. Now, people, guess what else is still going on? Okay, like when we talk about macroeconomics, which is the science of economics of a society as a whole, if they didn't have all that free labor, you see what I'm saying? Okay, which is the buying and selling of slaves, the sales contribute.
Yeah, we were the first stocks and bonds sold on Wall Street. We're the reason why there is a Wall Street.
Actually, they used to have an auction block on Wall Street that I found out.
Yeah,
now,
so they built it up. That's why it was called.
Yes, sir.
They built the wall there.
Yes,
so slaves could line up to be auctioned off.
Exactly. Precisely. And then that's what a New York Stock Exchange is. Okay, and then of course you did have slavery in the original 13 colonies to 1795, and I'm paraphrasing from history here.
The biggest damn plantation in the Northeast was Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, sir. Okay, so you also had slavery in the whole New England states. Now, also too, Dr. Umar Johnson, okay, who made a TikTok video about 3 days ago. He made the statement of pretendians. And he had stated for all those who are quote unquote pretendians to stay up off his wall, he says you have a right to feel this way. You have a right to express it.
He got us confused with the $5 Indians. Ain't nothing pretend.
$5 Indians, man.
He got us confused with them Dow Rosians.
Okay, Dow Rosians.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, roll with me.
The Dow's Rose Committee.
Okay. Well, with me, Brother Che, you know, the jury is still out on that, and I am researching it, and it is fascinating information and what have you. Now, the dump showing up in the dump truck yesterday, which was most appropriate and what have you, but see what should have been in
for what? We've been calling the dump for years, so it's fitting.
Exactly.
Very fitting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm wondering, Donald Duck, because I've heard you, Donald Duck, in your public comment, use the term brain dead. I wonder where he got that from, people. Also, too, I wonder where he got that.
You and ladies say think that they're not listening. They definitely listening. Because they've been
yes,
saying for years now.
Oh, yeah. Now, I wonder if there's a way, if we could use these kangaroo courts, you see what I'm saying, to maybe slap him with another lawsuit, for stealing our intellectual property. But, however, it is what it is. See, anytime people that you sit up there and have faith in something that does not have faith in you and expect a righteous result, that's not insanity. That's stupid.
That's
okay.
Hope.
There's a big difference.
That's hope. That's what hope is.
What? Keep hope alive? That BS that they used to say to us, man. When was that, man?
Yes, Shabaka. That's what you just described. Is the definition of hope.
Oh, okay. So another thing there that's bumping our head. You know what I'm saying? Telling us his lies and trying to get us to believe that it is true. Banging your head against the wall, expecting a different result
that's insanity. Like vote for who, no matter who, for the last 60 years. That's insanity.
Oh, that's what that is? Oh, okay. All righty. Okay. All righty. So that's insanity. Let's see if our chat room is open for insults and hate mail. Let's see. It says it's connecting. Okay. And
nobody's in there. I just checked, Shabaka.
Okay, nobody's in there. Okay. All righty. But however, our chat room.
We're going to have to conjure up Sarge. Where the hell is Sarge at? This is not
yeah, exactly. He's probably up there, doing his dump worshiping, you know what I'm saying? With a pile of garbage, you know what I mean?
He's probably like, I would have rolled in on a dump truck too.
Yeah. And then also, too, ladies and gentlemen, and tell us what you think about this here, Sister Have Sex, too. Stinky Bird. Okay, Stinky Bird was out here trying to bribe people to vote for the dump. Okay. So therefore, they got one of these kangaroo courts supposedly to bring in the board, you know what I'm saying, for election interference. Okay. And I'm still stating the same fact that he is not an African. He is a Boer. Now, for those of you, know what the Boer War was, is where the Dutch and the British fought.
He's an Afrikaner.
He's a what?
He's a freak Afrikaner, otherwise known as a Boer.
Yeah. So I much rather just call him a Boer. You know what I mean? Is because, he's a Boer. Is because if he was to come out here a few months ago here in the great state of Nevada, his skin appealed just like a reptilian. Okay. He'll be turning red. Okay. He'll be sitting up there needing water. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. But see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we created the hashtag resurrection of the mental dead. Okay. It is because our people, ladies and gentlemen, particularly over the last 40 years that I'm a witness to, have been dummied down through these public indoctrination centers. Okay.
Well, when you put it like that,
gender confusion. Gender confusion. Okay, gender confusion.
Helping. Then,
say what now?
They say in Project 2025, they're supposed to get rid of public education. Does that seem the way when you put it like that, Shabaka? Does that really sound like a bad idea?
Okay, well, there's a difference, sir, as you know, and also too, sister, that there's a big difference between education and indoctrination. You see what I'm saying? Okay.
I'm working. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So this is why that you had certain organizations in the black community that open up their own school systems as well as they should have. You see what I mean? And let's look at the great Mary McLeod Bethune.
Yes.
Okay, Mary McLeod Bethune, okay, who was a great educator, okay. She had transitioned 1955. And then when I was down there in Florida, okay, I went to Daytona Beach, and I did see free
ozone. Speaking of Daytona Beach, free ozone. Also, Wallace.
Okay.
Can I say something real quick? Is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
What I was gonna say was that going back to what you were saying about slavery, I got several things to say about what you had just mentioned that sparked something in me. They have a lot of nerve telling us that we just need to get over it and get over slavery, because not only is it still lingering on today, but it left imprints on our people mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, Dr. Cress. Come on, Dr. Cress Wilson.
And also, with I was just going to say, first of all, we have to do a lot of praying today, because I got a feeling, and it's a bad feeling, but I got a feeling Trump's going to win.
Yeah, I do too.
And also, with these schools today, they're terrible. I used to work in schools years ago. It was very humbling, but now it's like, hey, what happened? You know, because like schools like MUI, Muhammad University of Islam, I set up one in Denver. Yeah, they're pretty cool. The Muslims know how to rear their children. Yeah, but these public schools out there, Lord have mercy, they have went bonkers. And I don't know.
Totally.
These religious institutions have become synagogues of Satan now.
Synagogues.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly. Satan, yes, ma'am. That's exactly what they is. Okay, let's look at over here, people, the state that is due west of me, you know what I'm saying, with gruesome Newsom. And do you know that they got a law in California that was introduced by an assemblyman from San Francisco? Okay, connect the dots with me, people. That stated that an adult could violate a child as long as the child is not under the age of 10.
They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Because I have a daughter. Okay. That pisses me off. That pisses me off.
Absolutely, sister, as well as it should.
Shabaka has it.
As well as it should.
Shabaka's not 100% accurate. So basically what it says is you could be 1 year older or younger than you, but the age limit, I think the age limit is like 13 or something. So you could be 23 dating a 13-year-old. Some crazy shit like that.
Say that. Yeah. See, that's an act wrong within itself.
Farrakhan has something to say about that, because Farrakhan said that the messenger never said that a young girl can date and a man is old enough as their grandfather. He never said that. Now, Malcolm X said half your age plus 7. That's what he said, but I don't believe that the messenger would ever say something like that an old man can marry a young little girl. It's just not natural to do it over in other countries, to do it here. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, to prove your point even further, sister, so if the woman should be half the man's age, right? You know what age that will be where they will be the same age?
Just
14.
About. My husband was actually, when me and my husband married, he was about half my age plus 7, almost. And so he was about 10 years, not 10, a little under 10 years older than me, or a little under that. But he wasn't that much older than me. He looked very young, and he was very young at heart. But I'm talking about an old man, like you got gray hair and you're trying to go for the young. Come on now, go for someone around your age. That's ridiculous.
Oh, it is. Well, just like how Sister Mary McKeeba has stated, and this is why we play African Sunset, for those of you, who are after her generation, like I try to tell old crazy Sarge, Sister Mary McKeeba had stated is that on the continent, our traditions and history were passed down from generation after generation orally. You see what I'm saying? And the griots, they would spend their whole lives, studying the history and what have you, gathering his notes. And then he would make the announcements, of the history, I believe over a 2-year period, but I may be wrong on that. But the griot would sit there to about, 3 days straight, 72 hours straight, 24 hours a day, reciting the history of the people and not repeat himself not one time. And then when the white man comes and says, well, you did not exist until we discovered you, poof, now all of a sudden you exist, which is ridiculous. You see what I mean? Yes, ma'am.
They're like forever, according to the Holy Quran, Bible, and the Torah, and the Gospel. We've been here forever, and God created man and woman black as night first.
Right.
And then we with all different complexions, and the white man wasn't here until 6,000 years ago. His time is up. He needs to get off the planet.
Exactly. That paradigm has to go.
Yes. And this is not hate speech. We're saying is here under your so-called First Amendment of freedom of speech, and I'm of the opinion that U.S. Constitution is perhaps one of the biggest hypocritical documents in history.
Well,
all men are created.
It was never written or intended to benefit us.
Yeah, well, that's precisely the point of what I'm getting to. You see, all men are created equal, but in 1776, you still had the ships in the transatlantic slave trade docking in such places as New Orleans, Louisiana,
Charleston, South Carolina,
Mobile, Alabama, and Annapolis, Maryland. And then the hypocrisy of it is you get these brain dead, ass scratching, Uncle Tom, Tim Scott, Amos, and Andy Negroes. You
Oh my God! You got the niggas for Trump now, Shabaka.
So that proves my point even more so. Now I can understand black for Trump.
If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. But didn't it say somewhere in the Constitution read somewhere that we were only 3/5 of the human beings?
Yes, ma'am, that is a fact. Now, brain-dead Negroes will sit there and tell you.
Basically, they'll tell you that it has to do with the voting, with voting.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You see, but keep in mind though, the white man, to quote Sister Miriam, speaks out of both sides of his mouth. He speaks with a forked tongue. Is that the indigenous people of the Americas has stated. All right, now with me being a diasporic African, a descendant of the Fulani, when you look at a serpent,
Fulani, with the Bantu, with whatever African tribes arrived here during the transatlantic slave trade, but there were already Africoid people already here, and this is well documented. But
Okay, but you know, Brother Che, you and I, you know, we debate on that respectfully, and will continue to do so, because it is fascinating. It is fascinating.
1832. Prior to 1832, the American was copper colored.
Okay, now hold on, Brother Che. Now, off of research that you and I have done on a video that you have showed, okay, with the technology and what have you that they had on the continent, and then you had a lot of brothers who were being bought and sold that had intellectual property, and okay, and I forgot the name of the organization. I put the list up there, the Great Black Inventors. I mean, man, you know, the Almanac, Benjamin Banneker, him being a surveyor, laying out the layout of Washington, D.C. Okay, and then also to the brother who was with Thomas Edison that invented the light bulb that Edison stole from him, probably. Yeah, Lewis Latimer. Okay. Then, and keep in mind, I'm going off of memory because I don't have no notes in front of me. Okay, but this all inclusion is an illusion. Okay, when I look at bombs, well,
credits do 90% of what we're using today in everyday life is attributed by way of our ancestors' inventions. Everything, the light bulb, the street light, the AC, the refrigerator, the washer machine. I mean, any appliance, anything that made life easier, that was created by us.
Okay. And then also too, but the thing is this Yassa Boss syndrome that the American Negro embraces 100 times more so than his true heritage. I mean, Tim,
Uncle Remus. No, you talking about Uncle Remus.
Scott, did he do that?
Modern day
I got plenty of nothing, and nothing's plenty for me.
And apparently, the Wayne Wade looks just like Uncle Remus did in 18 whatever.
Okay, yeah, there was an old Walt Disney movie called Song of the South, made about 1945, 1946, just shortly after World War II. Now,
they had a statue. They was gonna make a statue. They was gonna make a statue to Uncle Remus and a statue to Mammy.
And a statue of who?
To Mammy. The Mammy on the on the bottle on your mama.
Yes, sir. So therefore, once again, that proves our point. You see what I'm saying? And then with the World Series just ending, with the
Dodgers
winning it,
the LA Dodgers.
Okay.
I think they
the bombs, man. The bombs. They're bombs.
But they're starting to catch up. The Yankees got the most championships out of any sports team, American sports team.
Right. Now, but it's very interesting is that when you had the Negro Baseball League of great talent that you had there, like Satchel Paige.
That was nothing but talent.
Yeah. And I was reading up on Satchel Paige one time, and they said, too bad he wasn't white. Too bad he wasn't white.
It's got like that.
Okay, but you see, but this is my point, Sister Headset Shoot, is that they always wanted us to hate ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Because because they put great emphasis on hating ourselves. Now, just like when the raping, slave trading, pedophile would have Black Friday, and I'm not talking about bum rushing Walmart, you know what I'm saying, what they're going to be doing in a few days here. But Black Friday is where they would take young black girls, 12, 13, 14 years old.
Exactly.
The raping, slave trading, pedophile will purchase these black girls for their son to quote unquote breed more slaves. Now, here's the trip. With that barbarism in there, okay, because you had nonviolent barbarism, such as that, then you had violent barbarism. Now, let's look at rich widow white women who would go to the auction block too and buy black men 21, 22, 23 years old. Okay, and of course we know what they were purchased for. I mean, look at Hollywood. And then, as Brother Che and I have done great research on the buck breaking farms.
Yep.
Okay, so this is why when I debate with individuals, when they talk about Alexander the Barbarian who crossed the Sahara Desert, okay, instead of him bringing women with him, he brought little boys. Little boys.
Yep.
So pedophilia.
That's that Greek Roman.
Is it? Okay, but what I'm saying, but this is Eurocentric, okay? Because in Afrocentric societies, when an individual as such, which was probably 1 out of 1,000,000 that was discovered, he was told this: you have one or two things. You have one or two choices: exile or death. Understand? Exile or death. So either, man, you're going to shake the spot, or we're going to put you up under this ground, because that's not our culture. Understand? So therefore, in African nations, or Cuban nations, since Africanus is a Greek word, okay, so I will stick with Al-Cuba line. Okay, you had the rites of passage. You know, when the girls and the boys will become of age, you know, the elders will take them off, going through institutions of rites and passage, learning certain things, what is expected of them, learning agriculture as well, too, is because agriculture originated on the continent of our cable line. Now, them pale people who come from what they would call Europe had no natural resources. You see what I'm saying? It was all barren. No.
Barren land. That's why.
What happened?
That's why it was named Europe. That's basically Latin for wasteland, or Kemetic for wasteland.
Okay. All righty. So then, okay, those who talk about that, I had a dispute with a guy, and he was on our show, and quite naturally, of course, with us being the executive producers here, we push eject buttons here when nobody wants to violate our policies, right? And he was saying that during the time of the Moors, who did rule Southern Europe for 700 years, and keep in mind,
800 from 711 AD to 1491.
So some individual says to me, well, don't you think that the men went up there and got with the white women? And I says, well, either that they were drunk, diseased, or infected. Okay, so you telling me that you're going to pass over these voluptuous African goddesses to go get these 6 o'clock Barbie doll looking bimbos? Negro, is you crazy?
Now, concubines. The leader said,
yes, ma'am. Go ahead, sister.
what I was going to say was I had a very good, almost a very good upbringing. Besides the problems with my stepmothers, but my dad and my mom did not play when it came to white men. My grandmother especially said, don't marry no white man. Because for one, when he gets married to you, he'll call you a nigga and a black dude.
Right.
And at very young, my dad taught me that if I brought anybody home, make sure they look black. And my mom taught me that the white man was the devil. So me joining the nation at 17 was like I fell right in. So I just want to say that I would never, ever marry or even look at a white man like that ever in my life, because I've been taught about how they are, their history, what they did to us in the past, Black Friday, all that. And I get tired of staring at me like they want something. And I always go off and tell them, stop looking at me like that. I am not your slave. Right. And they look at me like,
okay.
They're trying to see if you're a bad witch.
Yeah, exactly. We all the same. Just get over it. You know?
Yeah. They be staring. The thing is that when black men are around, they're real sneaky about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They try to up on a black woman and be like, hey, you look nice today. Nigga, get the, you know what I'm saying? Get out of my face.
Absolutely. Now, this is one thing that I appreciated about the former heavyweight champion of the world, may he rest in power.
Yes.
Is that anytime that you saw him, any and every time that you saw him, he always had a sister on his arm. Now, I'm not talking about what he did, you know what I'm saying, as far as his personal life, but as far as his public image was concerned, it was always pro-black. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he did sacrifice the prime years of his life standing up for his people. Okay? So may that brother rest in power and what have you, because and the reason we brought him to mind, because I'm looking at a Facebook page of his called Muhammad Ali Fans Club, and the brother who posted it said, man, still you're in our minds. Okay? So it was not so much of Ali being the heavyweight champ, people. He was more than the heavyweight champ. He was the most recognized figure on earth, as we stated. But you know, and they used to call him, well, you draft dodging NGR. Right. But if I'm going to die, I'm prepared to die fighting one of you. Do I got any takers?
You got so quiet.
And all them hillbillies just, you can hear pin dropping in them. All them hillbillies, they got so quiet. You know what I'm saying? I wonder why. Let me see. Ooh, I'm trying to think. What was this man's occupation? Professional boxer.
Viewers, if you'd like to tap into the conversation, you're welcome. The call-in number is 516-418-5996. We are down to our last 15 minutes of the show. Oh. Did you make it for 2 hours?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, you made it for 2 hours. Never mind. Y'all got plenty of time to call.
Yeah.
I thought
okay. Then we can go in. Okay, then we can go in overtime. Okay. Now, another thing too, people.
Oh, I got an inspection.
Another thing.
We're not gonna be able to do the 2 hour mark, Shabaka, because I got an inspection this morning. So we're gonna have to end this in about 30 minutes, probably. We might be able to do 90 minutes.
Okay, all righty. Okay, whatever you can. Know you're busy. Now, also, too, there's another man that I want to mention who are contemporaries with Ali. Okay, that there's the one and only Mr. Barry White.
Oh, yeah.
The Love Unlimited Orchestra. Okay, you know, great music. You know what I'm saying? And the man was a musician all his life, because any time that you do music, athleticism, poetry, writing, art, you know, people are born with these skills and talents. You see what I'm saying? This is why it's called the arts, okay? But then when the rap industry came about, and I appreciate the art of rhythm and poetry, but all these BI terms, MF,
it didn't start off like that. It didn't start off like that, Shabaka.
Huh?
It did not start off like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but the powers that be out there who control those industries have put that stipulation in there that they had to have that type of material in there with that. And I'm not going to mention any names.
Later on, Shabaka, remember they were saying hip hop was going to be a fad and it was going to go out like disco. And it wasn't really, back then, it was underground. And that's when it was in its infancy. And that was when it was at its peak. Before the co-optation or social modification of it.
Right, exactly. You see what I'm saying? And then, of course, you know, it was controlled. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of censorship,
and then, man,
speaking of censorship, those telecommunication acts came out around that same time. Like the telecommunications in 96.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remembered it.
Yeah.
It was Clear Channel. They got rid of all the independent radio stations and put everything under Clear Channel. And there was another one. I want to say Universal or something like that.
Yeah, and what had happened was that's when they got rid of analog color. Yeah, that's when they got rid of analog television and they start selling you TV. You see, HBO. You see what I'm saying? Showtime. Okay. Yeah. You see, and things like that. And who's the main ones that control them? You guessed it, folks. The granddaddy of them all in Hollywood, Paramount, Universal, and the Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, just stream this, stream that. Got you paying for television. Okay, so if you are paying for television, then I should not be sitting up there looking at no advertisement of some lying, crook, opportunistic SOB trying to sell me garbage. But what do they tell you in the 21st century? Oh, just download the app. Oh, just download the app. No, people. You do not do this. It's because this is where your identification gets compromised. Your bank accounts get compromised. Okay. Then social media is controlling you, like PewTube, Facebook, Stinky Bird. You see what I'm saying? And I call it Stinky Bird because must means that you stink. Okay? That's what musk is. It means that you stink. Okay? Now,
stink. And that's why he had that last name, Musk.
Yeah, because he stinks. Okay? And then, like Dick Gregory, one of our greatest elders, Brother Che, I'm sure you're familiar with him, and I'm sure you're familiar with him, Sister. Sister Hab Shoot. The man was a comedian, and he was an educator as well, too. Okay? And you know about what Dick Gregory said before his transition about Victoria's Secret, right?
Yep.
Okay, because you know, according to Mr. Gregory, that Victoria was perhaps really Victor.
Yeah, King.
Understand? Yeah. It was a man, according to Mr. Gregory. I have no reason to doubt Mr. Gregory.
That was the secret.
Yeah, but I have no reason to doubt Mr. Gregory.
Yeah,
just like I have no reason.
Dr. Randy Short goes into vivid detail about that in Buckburger, in the documentary Buckburger.
Oh, okay.
And he basically said that.
I'm familiar with Dr. Short. I have spoken with Dr. Short.
The kings of
Europe
at that time, they would go out at night dressed as women, and that's part of their culture. That's part of their culture.
Yes, sir, most definitely. Okay. So now, Kamala is talking about in her, what do they call it? DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Well, we're all the same. Well, come out here to where I'm at in about 6 months, and I will prove to you that we're not. Well, that did happen so long ago. You people need to get over it. Are you going to tell a Jewish person to get over the Holocaust?
No.
During World War II?
No, they would not do such a thing.
Okay. But with us, they got this certain agenda for us people. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They hate us because they cannot be us.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? Okay. Although they're not going to tell you this, but let's look at their actions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's look at what they did to Emmett Till.
Mm.
Are you going to tell his family to get over the atrocities that happened to him?
We got an Emmett Till lynching bill law that ain't even being enforced under the Biden-Harris.
Yeah, exactly.
We still don't have an anti-black hate crime bill, but y'all here Kamala. That broad ain't black, and even if she was, she ain't gonna do nothing specifically for black people. No.
No, exactly. Now, but here's one sister I want to pay homage to. That is the one and only Sister Soldier. Okay.
Yeah,
I saw a recent video that Sister Soldier did. Once again, her logic, her intellect. She did not use not one cuss word. Where she reigned all upside their dome is because she stated our people did not invent the Ku Klux Klan. Our people did not invent, pedophilia. Our people did not go out here and burn down and bomb a church with 4 children in it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay. All this stuff here is what white America did. And then, of course, we know the infamous words of Frog Face. Segregation yesterday, segregation today, and segregation tomorrow. Now, what breaks my heart is when I look at these photographs of this little baby with her book bag surrounded by the National Guard.
You talking about
getting off into a car. I'm talking about little Ruby Ridges. Yes, sir. You see what I'm saying? Little baby, around a complicated world, was born a few years before I.
Yeah.
Around a complicated world built on hate, and had to have the National Guard escort this little baby in and out of class.
Yeah, that little baby is a grandma now.
Oh, yeah. So if I'm and Miss Ridges, ma'am, if you're out there within earshot, please email us at Shabaka'S Black Experience on Facebook, man. We would really love to have you as a guest, providing, of course, Blog Talk does not collapse again, okay? Yeah. And we would love for you, ma'am, to relate that
Tuesdays
what you went through.
I wouldn't be surprised if it crashed then.
Yeah. In fact, you know what, Brother Che, we're not even going to do Tuesday. Okay? We'll do Wednesday. We'll do a special edition, but we're not even going to do Tuesday. Is because, the country's going to be in fervor,
Oh, yeah.
And then...
They're already cheating already. There's already some...
Yeah. Well, Sister had said shit. You did not hear me say this right here when we did a Streamyard a few nights ago, man, where I said that everybody, when they go to vote on Tuesday, right, to be sure to go to the bathroom on your ballot and wipe your ass with it and turn it in, and that there will clearly show that you are voting for the dump, as in human shit.
You got
to think that should make that.
You got to make sure it gets trouble, so they know that it's for him.
Oh yeah, and I think that should make that perfectly clear of what he is. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why he rolled up in the dump.
Yeah, and I know. Yeah, and he rolled up in a dump truck. You know what I'm saying? And what have you? You know.
Right, and said
and
his supporters were garbage.
Brother Che, let me tell you something. Okay. That orange Cheeto cheese, you know what I'm saying, special effects by Greaser Formula and Crazy Glue, will get no argument from me.
I'm going to go sorry.
Because
say what you will about Donald J. Trump. I said I'm going to go Sarge on you real quick. Say what you will like, Shabaka, about Donald J. Trump. He did not pass any laws that specifically harms your life.
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid that he did. Okay, but you see, when it comes to the house nigga syndrome, okay, like one of the ministers that said Sister had said shit. You had the field Negro and you had the house Negro.
Right.
The field Negro will go to the house Negro and say, hey, man, let's get away from this evil master. Let's escape.
Yep.
Let's run away.
Like we are.
And what does the brain dead Negro say?
Like,
yeah.
I was a Democrat. I was an American.
Yeah. What's better than what we got here? Man, I ain't from Africa. I don't need to know nothing about Africa. Man, you left your damn mind in Africa.
That's what the X-Men said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he did. You see what I'm saying? And why do you think 50 years ago...
didn't mean us no good. And
exactly.
They didn't want to leave because they liked being a slave. They liked being with master.
Yeah.
Okay, and so which means is
the table. They love getting them crumbs, them butter biscuits off the master's table.
And then another thing that they got that they loved, and people have cussed me out because I don't dine on hog guts.
You had no choice back then, Shabaka. You act like it was a choice, like Kanye said. It was a choice. Y'all had a choice. No. It was either you ate that or you starved to death. So we turned that into...
then I would have starved to death.
The house, the field Negro starved.
Yeah, but sir, do you know that the smell of that garbage nauseates me and makes me want to vomit?
Yes, Shabaka. That's why we learned. That's why our ancestors learned how to properly clean shit and prepare it and turn it into a delicacy.
Oh, brother.
Turn shit literally into a
delicacy. First of all, can I say something about that? First of all, even in the Quran, of course, it says you're not supposed to eat pork. But even in your Bible, Jesus said, don't even touch the carcass of the pig, let alone the pig.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to agree with that. We ain't supposed to eat no pig.
No, we're not. But our ancestors had to. That were on them plantations.
Okay, but brother Che, but then
nowadays they eat them. Don't you think?
Okay, but brother Che, but also too.
Remember,
but as you know,
didn't eat.
Africa.
They got what the dog wouldn't eat.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh, you talking about the house Negroes versus the field Negroes?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So therefore, that there was a divide and conquer technique. You know what I mean? Okay.
Divide and conquer.
So
And it was forced upon us, Shabaka. Like they forcing this agenda on us. That shit was forced upon our ancestors. They didn't really have a choice in the matter, especially the field Negroes. The house Negroes, they didn't necessarily have to eat low off the hog. They got to eat high off the hog with master. But the field Negroes, we could get what we could get. And that's what it came down to. That's what it came down to. But we survived off of that for generations.
Okay, but another thing that our people have survived off of too, although they do put hog with it, was greens.
Yeah, greens.
Okay.
I got some greens.
And,
I got me a whole bundle, a whole bushel of collard greens. I grew this year.
Yeah.
I just got done harvesting.
Okay, yeah, because
for the big freeze. Sister herself,
right?
Real
okay.
Cool. It's like in the 30s now.
Okay. Oh yeah, and let me see, and I think we're at about in the low 60s here, brother Chet. Okay, so but however though, okay, but the thing is though, is that greenery, foliage, vegetables, okay, that's mainly what you need.
That's the type of part of our culture. Yeah, the same oats, Shabaka, that you accused my Bronco.
Man, later for them ponies, man. Later for them ponies.
Talking about y'all.
Man.
And I'm like, they later for them horsepower, because that's where the horsepower comes from. So
GMO oats. GMO oats, you know what I'm saying? GMO oats, put them back in the barn, man.
It's all natural. Remember, the best of the best.
Man.
Remember the best.
Man, later for the ponies.
The Bronco.
Yeah, later for the
later
ponies.
for the Trader.
Yeah.
No Trader fans over here.
Sir, as I stated, that my support for the Raiders is in hiatus, okay, until they change the general manager and the whole entire coaching staff, is because Al Davis would not have put up with this garbage of where these guys is playing out here.
Just win.
But however, though.
Just win. Yeah, y'all just winning, all right. Y'all might as well go for that first round draft pick, because that's the only wins y'all get.
Okay, sir. As we had stated before, we want to emphasize.
We got to go down there on the 24th, so when we shut y'all out at home, we make it Orange Crush in Vegas.
Man, we're putting the ponies in the barn. But however, there's one thing that the white boy who owned the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, and they came back on the Bears last Thursday night. That was hilarious. In the last few seconds,
sir, the Bears are the sparring partners, man, of the NFC Central. Yeah, me and Dr. Barnes got to talk about that one, But anyway, the white boy who had said, well, if you color don't like the way we do things here in the NFL, then dadnammit, go form your own league. Now, here's the sad part. Now, hold on. Now, here's the sad part. This is why we created the hashtag resurrection of the mental dead. You know what? That old boy is right. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm willing to
bet
dollars to donuts.
We got the big three for basketball. For football, we got the UFL and the AFL.
Okay. All righty. So then we need to emphasize Black family more on that. And I do believe with the talent level that we have on a collective basis when it comes to athleticism.
It's going to really burn you up, Shabaka. We are part owner of my beloved Denver Broncos.
Who is part owner of them donkeys? I mean, them ponies.
How dare you, Shabaka? The disrespect is real. Condoleezza Rice and another brother. His name escapes me right now.
Condoleezza Rice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Condoleezza Rice, she's from Park Hill. You know, she's a graduate of the University of Denver.
Yep, she's a Hill.
Okay, and she, and I believe she has, you know, her professorship set up down at Stanford University, okay, which is in Silicon Valley.
As a matter of fact, Shabaka, Pops went to school with her dad at DU.
Is that right? Yeah. Oh, okay.
They used to play. They used to play ball together. Oh, you gotta leave, sister.
Okay. What'd you say?
I said PCSU. I have to go.
Okay. Thank you so very, very much, sister, with your input this morning. Okay, it's always a pleasure having you. Okay, sister, say heads up to it. Okay. Have a great day, okay? And then also to Black family, the more reason for us to study history of ourselves is because her namesake, Queen Hatshepsut of Kemet, during her military operations, Queen Hatshepsut commanded her own troops in the field.
She so did.
Okay?
Sure did.
Yeah, just like the warrior queen, Nzinga, of Mutamba, okay?
Yeah, she fought.
Who told the savages.
She was one of, I wish more would have followed her lead, but she was one of few that fought to get us back.
Oh, yeah. And for 50 years, all of her adult life, she fought off invaders, okay? You Portuguese, you know.
Too. Not only was she fighting off the invaders, she was fighting to get us back home.
Queen Nzinga of Mutamba, and this is why you got a lot of the sisters, you know, that wear her name Nzinga. You see. And in these public indoctrination centers, okay, which don't teach us nothing or teach our youth properly, just like these kangaroo courts where we do not get justice, you know what I'm saying? And I think Richard Pryor has said, yeah, when you go into the slammers, that's all you see is just us, you know?
Yeah, and then Richard Pryor, because he was also showing us that those people in what they call Egypt, were our people.
I remember when he did the Richard Pryor show. That was in the mid-'70s, and he was up there, did a skit where he's going here with these archaeologists, and they going off there into Kemet, and, you know, going into the pyramids, and he had said that, hey, these people here, they were black, although he used the NGR term. You see what I'm saying? But still, our people were black. And then also, too, I was going to give a shout-out to that brother who was about to do a battle rap. Do not know his name. Okay, he was going up against a cave dweller. And the cave dweller said, well, you all use the term NGR, so I'm going to use it, too. Huh?
That term was originally a black term, which meant God, King, Ruler, Nagas. And then we the guys with goddesses, the queens of this shit.
Okay.
And they couldn't pronounce it correctly. So it got that horrible ER to it instead of negro. It became Maate and nigger.
Okay, sir. Okay. I don't doubt your wisdom, but it was in a context that the cave dweller was using it. And then there was a brother who wasn't saying nothing. And as soon as the pale guy had finished it, the brother laid a picture perfect right across straight to his mug. It was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It was beautiful.
Pass is given with that type of shit. You get no pass. I don't care how long I've known. I don't care how down you think you are. You think you have a hood pass. No. We don't tolerate that.
Yeah,
no pass is given.
Yeah.
Not black.
You see what I'm saying?
Saying that word. And even if you black, you should really be saying a real word, which is nagus or nagus.
Or you should spell it.
Nagus, Naggus.
Yeah, you see. And then
or nigger. I remember seeing that on Jeopardy. They had a episode of Jeopardy when I was one of the questions. And it was nagus. Negus.
Okay, what was the question on Jeopardy?
In Ethiopia, what is the name for king? And a little white boy answered it, and he was like, Negus. And they're like, that is correct. Like that was a few years back.
Okay.
During the pandemic.
Y'all have a good day. Peace, love, and happiness.
Okay, peace, sister.
Okay, thank you for joining us, sister. Okay. All righty, but you see, Brother Chaz, we said in these public indoctrination centers, you see, they don't teach us about ourselves. You see what I'm saying? They want you to sit up there, man, and worship some unclean, unbathed individual, you know what I'm saying? And look down on ourselves, but this is the American social order.
Well, now you got choice in certain states and certain cities. You got choice on where your kids can go to school. Like we had a black school called 5280 Freedom School.
Yeah.
And they couldn't meet the enrollment numbers.
So they did that on purpose, just like
it was a once predominantly black area, but we don't live there no more. Like the whole east side is Park Hill, North Park Hill is like the last remnant of the east side in Montbello. But Montbello went to the damn Mexicans, so it's like Little Mexico. In Green Valley Ranch, that's where bourgeoisie, talented 10th Negroes live. And there's a lot of out there too, so we don't really have no predominantly black areas of Denver anymore. Like,
well, just like in Los Angeles, Brother Che, just like in Los Angeles when you had the Baldwin Hills, that there was kind of like the black version of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Okay, because out there where you used to have, okay, now I'm going back to memories because I'm recalling memories riding up through Appalachia Indigo, which went right through there. But I remember when all those were oil fields, okay? So then what had happened was they built up the Baldwin Hills, and this is basically where you had a lot of your musicians, movie actors and actresses in 1950s Hollywood, is because they did not allow black people to live in Hollywood until the mid-1960s, all right? Okay. So, you know, it was posh, and then, of course, you heard of the jungle, which sits right below.
That was primarily that
sits right below. Okay, that sits right below of the Baldwin Hills apartment complexes that they call the jungles.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
That's in Inglewood, right?
In the Crenshaw district. And then keep in mind, though, too, is that, like, the Crenshaw district really has went down is because, like I said, the last time that I passed through there,
like
you had
Wall Street, the Central Avenue was the Black Wall Street of L.A.
Okay, Central Avenue, yeah, you're right, it was. And then, too, in the 30s and the 40s, yeah, you're right. Now, what had happened was they had a hotel there that used to sit there on the corner of 45th and Central called the Dunbar Hotel, right? Man, everybody stayed at the...
The Dunbar Hotel was the equivalent of the Smithsonian. You know, we have a hotel down here called the Smithsonian, Shabaka, on Welton Street. And
okay.
Where all the stars used to come through in the jazz era.
Okay. Right, yeah, because everybody was traveling from New York on their way to the West Coast. Okay. All right, now, Uncle Tom Bradley, who was the mayor of Los Angeles at that time, you would think, okay, that he would have pushed some type of local legislation, but keep in mind the mayor of Los Angeles, like Karen Bass, okay, is just a figurehead. They really have no administrative power.
Yeah,
they're just a figurehead, right?
It's like a role.
Okay, is that he could have, is that he could have went out there and got some type of public support and says, you know, this is the Dunbar Hotel. Sammy Davis Jr. stayed here. Billie Holiday stayed here. Paul Robeson stayed here. Jim Brown had
all of them that you
stayed
named
there.
And then some.
Yes.
Stayed at the Smithsonian.
And they should have had some type of historical plaque and recognition up there. Now, when I was a child, I got a brief...
Like, because we have to fight to make 5 points of historically black district.
Oh, yeah, because see, don't nobody want to pay us no recognition. Just like this person is going to tell me on the Shabaka'S Black Experience Enhanced Life page about slavery. But nobody is left alive from it. And so then when I broke down, you know, the concept of macroeconomics, okay, and which the United States of economy still benefits from slavery, okay, quite naturally, of course, I heard crickets. You see what I mean? Okay, because there is no argument with undisputed truth. Now, I'm not the most brilliant person that there is, but I'm not no big dummy like Red Fox used to say.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Not just over here.
You know? Yeah, exactly. You see? So, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, okay, on Tuesday, we will not be doing our regular show of Shabaka'S Black Experience Enhanced. We might do a special edition the previous Monday.
We're going to be doing a Streamyard, probably Line Blacc News or the Revolutionary Agenda or a combination of both.
Oh, okay. You're talking about on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we can sit there and watch this circus unfold, okay, and see how these rigged ballots are and stuff like that, and people voting out of graveyards and things like that. You know what I'm saying? I guess last night the dumpster went on a major voter registration drive with all the spooky people, huh?
Yeah. They voted early, Shabaka.
Yeah.
And there's
No. But I'm sure that some of his people, okay, had went to the cemeteries, okay, and registered those who were in their final resting places. I wonder why old Sarge ain't in this morning.
It's
Sarge.
Probably at the polls, vote.
Oh, yeah. So that's what Sarge is doing. Yeah, out there, you know, dumping for the dump. Okay. But him and that dump truck, you know, that was most appropriate. The dump in a dump truck.
Yep.
Oh, man, that's great. You know what I'm saying?
Biden called his supporters trash or garbage.
Okay. All right, not that Biden is any better. Okay, but at least
the
dump.
It's like the equivalent of Hillary Clinton saying deplorables.
Oh, yeah. And Hillary Clinton about super predators and stuff like that.
Welfare court.
Yeah. And then,
Margaret Sanger,
as you know,
the founder of Planned Parenthood eugenics was her.
Yeah, exactly. Exterminating us. And then, you know, and they still get...
No matter what they did to us, Shabaka, they could not get rid of us. We just kept growing back. Stronger and stronger. They just couldn't.
Okay. Well, there was a song.
Women, unfortunately, aboard. I just learned recently, Shabaka, 80 million black babies since 1973.
Yeah. And then, of course, when they talk about women's health issues,
that would be considered genocide, eugenic.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what it is. You see, yeah, that's exactly what it is. You see what I'm saying? But the only thing we're supposed to do is be like Uncle Tim Scott. You the boss.
We need an anti-black hate crime legislation passed into law. Day one.
Right.
So yes, y'all should really get behind Cornel West because he's literally the only black candidate, black ticket on the ballot. We know who he is. We know he's one of us. But that damn Kamala, she is not a colleague. The damn colonizer. But thank you for tapping in.
Well, I'm not gonna do nothing. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do nothing specifically for black people, no. But yet, though, Cop Mala, you're going out there to the black community wanting their support. The hypocrisy is real.
Yeah.
Oh, Sambo, you going out there with your finger wagging on black men. Okay, him and Michelle. Okay. Now, oh, Sambo, you're the president of the United States. You signed no executive order. You ordered no type of investigation by federal law agencies going into the murder of unarmed black people by the police.
And Shabaka, at that same time, they both controlled the House and the Senate and the DOJ with Eric Holder.
Yeah, exactly. You say, so, I mean, what do we say right here, people?
Put a hoodie on and say, if you had a son, he would look like Trayvon.
Yeah, okay. And old George Zimmerman, Paul Blart Mall Cop, uses a 44 Magnum to kill this man, to kill young Trayvon.
Yeah, after he was told by the dispatcher to leave him the hell alone.
Exactly. Down there in the great state of Florida, where the transvestite who wears woman underwear called the panties
they call that
the governor.
Where woke goes to die. The NAACP issued a travel advisory for black people in traveling to Florida.
And then, from what I understand, the travel advisory was issued, to all of our people in the diaspora about traveling to the United States at that time.
Yeah, but specifically Florida.
Well, Florida was a slave state. Okay, what did our people do in Florida? Okay, like Louisiana, sugar cane. Okay, that made old granddad famous, and Jack Daniels and I.W. Harper and
back then
all of that.
Back then they would tell you who they got it from, but nowadays they completely erase it and try to take credit for every goddamn thing.
Okay, well, first place, sir, there is no such thing as a black racist in the United States, is because we don't control no police department, we don't control no banks, we don't control no stock market, we don't control no forms of government, rather at the municipal, the county, state, or federal level. So we are in no position to implement any type of systemic racism. You see what I mean? And then for those of you within earshot of this podcast, feel free to give us a call, on our regularly scheduled shows. You could Google us. We'll listen to you. and we'll talk back at you. But as long as you're respectful, you can stay on. But as soon as you get disrespectful, we got what we call eject buttons. You know what I'm saying? We do not like using them, but we will. Okay? It's because we don't hate nobody. We just advocate that we quit hating ourselves. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And so on that note there, Brother Che, that there's my closing statement, because I remember you said that you were pressed for time continuing the great work that you're doing there since you're winding down.
Yes, sir.
So we're closing statement, Brother Che.
Thank you for tuning in to Grand Rises with Shabaka and the Chase on this season 9, episode 37, since 36 didn't happen as a result of Blog Talk's fuckery. But we're going to continue on, Grand Rises
Right.
with Shabaka and the Chase. We were talking about censorship, so-called free speech in these contemporary times. All of these social media platforms are full of crap, and they would want you to spend money, but putting an advertisement on your social media and not paying you a dime. So we appreciate everybody that called in. Sister Upset Sue is always welcome. Much appreciated. Call in. Where were you at, Sarge? You done went AWOL on us again. Probably voting for the dump.
Yes, Sarge. Yes, Sarge. So we're going
for holding it down on the Streamyard and in the chat. And this episode was for those that were 18 years of age or older. So 37 of season 9. Join us this Saturday, November 2nd, for Line Blacc News. In the meantime, make sure y'all like to subscribe to platforms. Line Blacc News on YouTube and Facebook. The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. It's Shabaka'S Black Experience Enhanced on Twitter, now X.com, and Facebook. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separation. Black empowerment. Terry Krumah, Colorado State House representative candidate on the ballot for House District 8. Signing off from the Mile High Income and Illegal Migrant Flooded City. What do you want to go out with, Shabaka?
Ship Ahoy by the OJs. And this song here, too, ladies and gentlemen, is over 50 years old, and it was a contemporary song at the time of the Rumble in the Jungle. So this is Shabaka Sankari signing off from Sin City. Have a great day. Black Stuff.
I appreciate you. I think you was good morning.